I suppose my background is one of many different disciplines, I suppose, and changes. I'll start from my academic background, for want of a better place to start. I started life as a chemist. I was actually trained originally as an analytical scientist with a particular speciality in chemistry. So I moved into the area of artificial intelligence. And these are about using methods, computer-based methods drawn from the world of nature around us and the way we perceive things to process complicated data. So at any rate, I was on to my second postdoc, and as is traditional in Ireland, your mother gives you career advice. And she said, well, where are you going to get yourself a real job? I said, Mum, I think it is a real job being a researcher. She said, no, it's not permanent. So she saw this ad in the newspaper for, it was a patent firm, and they were looking for somebody to train as a patent attorney, somebody who could write well, who understood science, technology, etc. And of course I applied for it. And God knows, I got the job. I became a trainee patent attorney. I didn't know the first thing about intellectual property. I can't say I loved it. I just fell into it by accident. It takes many years to qualify as a patent attorney. In fact, I think it took me more than 8 years or thereabouts. I found it tough. I kept failing the exams. And that was really tough because prior to that, I'd been one of those people who first-class honours. Imagine what it's like, then you fail exams at professional level. That's because there's a difference between professional exams and academic exams, and I didn't anticipate that. But I was determined I was going to pass those exams no matter what. And I was very lucky. I had some really great people around me who helped me pass those exams. And I'll always be grateful to them for that. When I qualified, I came here to Abertay as a patent attorney to draft an application for the university. They were my client, at which point the then principal asked me would I consider coming to work here. And I applied for a job, and I got it, and lo and behold. I started as a commercialization and IP manager here, and the then principal wanted to establish a more formal research support functionality within the university, bring together groups of people from all over the university who previously had different functions and get them to work as a team. And I did that. And I had a great deal of fun doing that. Because of my background in intellectual property and a particular perception of a need for public engagement and the role of universities in public engagement, I created Digital Spark. I remember going to the vice principal at the time saying, I'm busy looking after everybody else. I want a project for myself. He says, yeah, whatever. What do you want to do? I want to run a bit of a conference. I think he thought it was going to be a small thing. No, I'm never going to do things by half. I wanted something big. And within a couple of months, we pulled together something pretty amazing. People had always said to me, you'll never get very high-profile names to come to Dundee. You'll never get them to come to Abertay. It's a small little university in the middle of nowhere. Dundee, nobody comes to Dundee. I said, stuff it. I'm going to show that I will make it happen because I wanted to make it happen. And I did. I must have worn out umpteen pairs of shoes walking around, meeting people, shaking hands and asking them to come to Dundee and telling them why I wanted to do this. And they came. And it was an amazing feeling. The things that have helped in my career path, well, there have been many because the career path itself has been divergent. I think the key thing has been having some brilliant people around at those particular critical points in that career. So, for example, having people who will have the faith in you as an individual and who will see the things in you that you don't see in yourself. Meeting the right people. There was people who could see opportunities for me, and having the courage to pursue those opportunities. The threats have been my own ones, my own limitations. That devil that sits on your other shoulder, when you have the angel on one side, the devil on the other. The angel that tells you that you can do it, and the devil that tells you, no, you can't. Your own insecurities, your own questions, and your own fragility, doubts whether you can deliver. That moment where you question whether people will believe that or think that you're a fraud. The number of times where I've felt that, where somehow the veil will be lifted and they realise that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm a complete fraud, or that something will go wrong and I won't be able to handle this situation, that I won't be able to think quickly enough to resolve that situation. Well, the first one was realising that studying a subject was not the same thing as practising it. Picking myself up off the ground when I had to make the decision about what I was going to do with my PhD, and the realisation that sometimes it doesn't matter how good you are or even how knowledgeable you are. Really great people can be unemployed. But it's having the mental resilience to realise that there'll be a lot better people than you out there who just find themselves in unfortunate circumstances. And you shouldn't blame yourself for that. You just keep going. Inspiration comes from many different sources. More recently, because of the nature of the challenges I faced, it's come from people, and very senior and experienced people, who I know have faced their own inner demons and have come out the other side. And the wealth of knowledge and perspective that they've given me has been absolutely wonderful. Their support, encouragement, knowing that they're always there for me, that's the most generous gift of all. Lucky is probably wrong, because it's not so much lucky. I think to some extent, luck is, I won't say you create your own luck. Luck happens. But I do have phrases, yes. The classic one is just go do it. That's it. If somebody tells you can't do something, don't believe them. Do it anyway. Let's put it like this. You'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you did it when everybody told you couldn't, or if it doesn't work, at least you'll know that you gave it your best bloody shot. Also, beyond being bloody-minded and just go for it, be open to other perspectives, because you'll learn a hell of a lot from doing that, and you will get really great ideas from listening to other people's perspectives and views on everything.